I'm Amy, and I'm an Agile coach, consultant, Gen AI educator, and I'm a SAFe expert. I'm also working closely with American School of AI, and that's who is providing this webinar, this session. I've successfully trained and guided over 15,000 individuals in product development, and also now using AI practices, AI tools, specializing in Gen AI, Agile, Lean Agile practices, Kanban, Scrum, SAFe. Goal is to help people and organizations build the growth mindset and the transformation skills that are needed to survive in today's changing world. Now let's talk about our agenda. We're going to quickly introduce what Gen AI is without all the technical language, and we'll think about applying Gen AI in your own work. We'll talk about some hands-on prompt to prototype challenge, and we will have you submit your responses. And based on those responses, you can actually gain a certificate in GenAI Foundations. And Sean will be helping you out with those. And then we'll open up for any Q&A. Now let's talk about the evolution. How has our technology evolved? Now, since the beginning, we had calculators doing all of our math calculations, crunching numbers. And since the early days, computers have kind of evolved as glorified calculators, and they were only executing exact instructions. Now, over time, artificial intelligence, AI, has been introduced. And what is AI? It's anything from collecting your credit card payment, approving that payment, recommending products, recommending ideas. For example, has anyone seen when you shop on Amazon, it ends up giving you some suggestions? Hey, you might be interested in this item. Has anyone seen that? Yeah, or maybe this item is not available. This might be available instead, or you may be interested. All of that is AI. All of that is artificial intelligence collecting data and presenting outputs without human intervention. But now, over the last few years, over the last decade, something else incredible has evolved, which is Gen AI. Okay, computers that can think, that can learn, that can communicate like humans, like us. And that's what Gen AI is. It can do all the creative things, intellectual work that was only reserved for humans. Okay, think about Gen AI as your assistant, as somebody, as a smart, maybe not a high school student, but maybe a smart assistant who can create new content for you. It could be text, it could be images, it could be music, it could even be code for creating products. Okay, so it's doing a lot more rather than just classifying existing data. Now, there's a type of Gen AI called large language model, LLM. And LLM allows us to predict the next word, the next thing you're looking for. So if you give it some instructions, it will tell you what comes next. Okay, it uses billions and trillions of data, trillions of parameters, similar to how our brain is structured. So think about any Gen AI tool as a neural network. It's collecting all the information around us from the internet. So think about that as pre-trained information. Okay, so it's collecting all of that information. It's essentially a smart intern. So that's one aspect. That's the first feed into this neural network. However, we are slowly able to do this as well, reinforcement learning. This is how I want you to respond. I want you to use this kind of language. We are able to provide that human feedback. You can actually let your ChatGPT know that, hey, I'm going to be sending you my thoughts. Don't respond yet. Just say okay until I ask a question. Okay, so you can use it to bounce ideas. You can reinforce how you want the information to be presented. Okay, so what's Gen AI? Think about Gen AI as it's a content-based system. It's identifying patterns from all the information that it's learned. It is not thinking, it is predicting. It can be super powerful when it is guided well. It's like having a super intern who has read the entire internet. It's fast, it's tireless, and it's ready to help. But it needs clear instructions. It needs clear guidance. It's not always right, but it is helpful if you direct it well, if you guide it well. You provide the context. And these AI tools do the heavy lifting. Now, AI tools can be used in a bunch of manner, text to text. Okay, so you give it some instructions and it spits out some text. You can actually create images from text. I am looking for a dog who's gotten wet in the rain. Show me what that would look like. You can actually transform images. Taking an image, can you transform it? Make it sunny now. You can convert images to text. So you can look at an image, get some descriptions. You can convert speech to text. For example, you're recording a meeting and you want some minutes for that meeting. Speech to text. Text to audio. So you can give it some text. You can actually create some songs. So give it some lyrics and it'll play the song for you. You can give it ideas on, hey, I'm looking for a rap song in this kind of genre. Make it sound like this particular song that you like. Okay, so you can give it clear instructions. You can actually create audios. You can actually also create videos. Okay, now about a few months ago, last year, the year before, when we started experimenting with all of these tools were not that great, but over time, they've gotten better and better and better. I had actually started making a list of all the AI tools that I want to experiment with, but I quickly realized that list is getting outdated every single day. There's new tools in the market. There's tools that have been evolved. Does anyone know that Canva now can actually make websites? Did we know about that? So Canva was used for making images, making posters, designing posters. Now it can actually create a website for you. So that's how fast your tools are evolving. A lot of things have changed. And here are some examples. It could be used for marketing, communications. For example, HubSpot is using GenAI for their blog posts, for their email campaigns, for ad copy. So what's the script that's going to go in your ads? Canva is integrating AI tools for content generations, social media captions to presentations. PR teams are using it for press releases, media pitches. It's been used in operations or for operations admin, like Fireflies or Otter. I think I saw Fireflies in the chat. So for summarizing meetings, extracting action items, following up, customer service teams for reporting summaries, procurement team for vendor comparison, policy documents, right? It's been used in a lot of ways. For HR, job descriptions, screening messages or screening different candidates. HR teams could use this for summaries, onboarding guidelines, employee policies, resume screening, for creating summaries of your profile. Could be used by strategy and products. So we're actually doing a lot of this with our clients for product owners, product managers, portfolio leadership, for analyzing customer feedback, gathering that customer sentiment, drafting product requirements, brainstorming features, brainstorming ideas for what could be our next set of priorities, things that can add value to our customers next. Consulting firms using it for client-ready proposals. Okay, so lots of ways of using AI tools for innovation and R&D. These pharmaceutical companies are using it for early stage drug discovery. What are some ideas? What are some ingredients we should test next? Designers are using it for prototyping. You can actually create a whole product along with the code. Okay, at least get to that prototype. Engineers are using it for writing, debugging code faster and faster. When it comes to training, you can use it for creating lesson plans, quizzes, materials. You can use it for training manuals, converting that into micro-sized pieces, creating infographics. Students are using it for feedback, research summaries, study guides. You can also use it in your personal life. I think I pretty much used it for all of these things. For planning, like vacation, meal prepping, parties, reminders, checklist. Communication, making notes. Maybe if you have a toast to give at a wedding, you can use it for that. Simplifying any docs. For growth, summaries. For example, I want a summary of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Can give me a quick summary. Hey, I want only 2 pages. I want 5 bullet points. So you can do a lot of things. You can learn new skills. You can actually create a plan for improving your health. You can prepare for interviews. It can help you write your resumes. You can also use it for fun things like creating stories. My son these days is interested in wolf stories. I've been using it for creating some new wolf stories for him every day. Gifting ideas, trivia. You can actually create a book using GPT tools as well, GenAI tools as well. Okay, you're wanting to get your book out there, build a brand for yourself. These tools can help you do that now. Now, the big question, a lot of us mentioned we are scared, we are enthusiastic, but a little bit skeptical. Is this for us? Now, AI versus humans. It is not about us against AI. It is being able to use these AI tools to support us. Now, if you think about how human intelligence has grown, okay, over time, human intelligence has grown at a steady pace. But if you think about your AI tools are growing, this knowledge is growing exponentially. And I think we're about at this stage. In some cases, humans are better, but in some aspects, your AI tools are better. However, AI is going to take over. Okay, think about our evolution. Okay, how have humans evolved? We introduced fire, we created a wheel, we went into agriculture, we discovered the printing press, we created the steam power, telegraph, and it took decades and decades. But AI has only been evolving over the last about 80 years. Okay, so it's growing exponentially. And especially these AI tools that you've seen in the market, exponential growth since the last year. Okay, now back in the day, back in the 90s, my mom was the only one who was using Windows 95. Okay, in our family, in our friends, on our street, so everybody would come over and it would do simple things. I was using a tool that would just make circles or make squares, but think about how all of that has evolved. Okay, we got phones that were introduced in the early 90s. Okay, wireless phones, you can text, you can talk. And then data was introduced late 90s, early 2000s, and see what you can do with your phones today. Okay, so this technology is not something to be scared of. It is something to evolve into, to adapt towards. I know change is difficult, but the world is changing no matter what you do, no matter what you decide for yourself. The world is changing at a much faster pace. iPhones were launched in 2007, not even 20 years ago. And see what they can do today. Your voice assistants, your voice commands, Siri, Alexa, think about all the things they can do. And in no time, we'll be able to give instructions to AI tools to create and build products automatically. Think Jarvis from Iron Man. Anyone interested in Iron Man or Iron Man fans here? Avengers fans here? Right? So that's not too far away. Okay, so we want to think about AI not taking jobs, but people using AI will take jobs away soon. We want to keep a positive mindset around this. How can I use it in my day-to-day life? Be it personal, be it professional. Okay, we don't really have to understand how it works. Even the developers who have built these neural networks, they've built AI, they don't really understand how it's using all the connections, how it's making all of those links and responding to us today. Okay, we don't have to understand the models, but it's a good idea to be aware of how to use it, how it can use to make our life easy, okay, personal or professional. Prompting used to have these three things to focus on. This is my role. This is my challenge. What can I do? But over the last few months, the prompt has actually evolved. You don't need to give it all of that. You can just say, hey, do this for me. And then based on the information it's giving you, you can make adjustments. You can give it more information. You can ask it to speak in a different manner. You can ask it to be informal. You can ask it to be formal. For example, you're sending a message to your supervisor, to your HOA, and it's sounding mean, sounding a little bit rude. You can send it instructions, make it more friendly, use formal language, use polite language. Thanks so much. I hope this was a good introduction to GenAI, good introduction to these tools, nothing to be scared of.